a little bit more about evolution to explain stuff like Jesus and Thoth and all those great beings from before. See, back then they were more able to tap into the universal consciousness and expand it because there wasn't so much. Look, everyone can communicate at the same time now. At one point in time, everyone could also communicate at the same time, but differently, in a very different way. They didn't look at themselves as different people having personalities and whatever. They did, but they were so and from such and such. They still didn't get it. I mean, we haven't evolved to the point where they understood that they could use their belief systems and their whatever to fly and shoot fire and battle dragons, and everything like that has come and gone or is going on right now. But all those things still didn't understand this point, the basic point of, now we call it 0 point consciousness, or we call it 0 point energy, and da 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 da, all these different things we call it, quantum physics and quantum particles, and all that kind of stuff. Everything we call it. It's just how deeply you believe it to be. And with everyone else around you not believing it, it makes it harder for it to come to be if it isn't something you've already seen. But if it's something you have seen and can believe to be so, and can somehow conceptualize a way to produce it, it can happen. And when you work towards it and let it go and don't over push it, it works. It's a balance. Everything in life is a balance, and we know that. But it's deeper than just that. And I wish I could go deeper than the word deeper, whatever it would be, to the depths, to the forest down. Like all those beings were here. Like the ones that we know were on Earth, we consider Earth to be the only place that life is lived. Well, life has lived other places, and life is living other places. It just isn't doing it the way we call life life. Maybe it's inorganic to us, but it's very organic to them. If they're burning, something's happening. It's just not a living, breathing flesh. We have fire and water and elements inside us too. We don't think it's that crazy. It's just way bigger on a grander scale because that's what our minds have created it into. And it's never going to go away. We're just going to keep going and keep evolving. If this earth blows up, we'll start over at amoebas until we realize that until we become a conscious being that's intelligent enough to start explaining it. As life went on through animals, those conscious beings weren't conscious enough to explain it. And now we are. So it works out way differently when you do things like in a location without interaction of other people. But then in this world, we're all interacting and we're all intertwining, which is good. But at the same time, we're not allowing ourselves to be creative. We're not allowing our children to be creative. We're making them follow a certain way. So it's staying the way we make it. So instead of evolution this time, we're living in the revolution. That's why we start about the revolution. But we don't want that. We want production. We want that. We just want to teach people how to be more loving before they start using their imaginations to create horrible shit. That's the truth. So I just had to add that because there's all those beings aren't a joke. They're not. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. Like everybody who's been talking about spirituality and stuff, it's so deep. When you talk about everything being possible, and then you start talking about stuff that people are like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Well, everything being possible means everything makes sense. Get that through your head and let it stick in your brain and realize that you can do whatever you want in life. Just be loving to people. Don't harm anyone. Just do what you need to do without harming. And so on.